Invincible is one of the best superhero TV shows of the modern era, delivering great writing, gorgeous animation, and interesting characters. Along with that comes various superheroes which inhabit the world and their character arcs. Invincible is never scared to challenge the audience's preconceived notions of what makes a superhero and how they should act. The show feels very intentional about having everyone have some negative experience with superheroes, and that is why today we will be discussing Now, when I say suck, I don't mean they're written badly. The development of many heroes in this show is just unreal, with the expertise applied to developing their story and just making them so interesting. No, when I say suck, I mean morally or as a person in general. In Invincible, the majority of our heroes are severely flawed, almost overstepping into the full superhero corruption scene in the world of the boys. Of course, we have Omni-Man, who I've already made a whole video diving into on his evilness. I also have covered how Mark is slowly becoming more and more like Omni-Man, and there's a lot of not great stuff there, but we have a lot of other characters to cover. One of the first bad superheroes we see was Flawed. He was just a stuck-up jerk who was self-possessed, cheated on Adam Eve as well. He's a horrible person who lets his powers go to his head, but he's not a supervillain. We also have Robot, who on the surface isn't horrible, but his story is just so messed up and weird, and he lies a lot, and it's just very strange. So, he originally was some sort of deformed baby adult thing with the body of a baby controlling robot drones, pretending to be some sort of AI robot working with teenagers, which since I believe he was like 23 or something, is somewhat creepy. Then, though, he sees Monster Girl and falls in love and wants to make himself a human body. So he hires the Mulder twins, who are supervillains, to make a clone of Rex because he notices that Monster Girl is physically attracted to Rex. It's very creepy, and while not necessarily evil, is very morally questionable and not great at all. With Season 2 of Invincible and Mark's quest to not become like his father, he needed to pay a lot of it retribution for his father's actions. Quite a few heroes who tried to kill Mark for his father's actions. And this is just needless violence, especially when Mark was the one to defeat Omni-Man. Those heroes who are just trying to kill him mainly seem just they want more power, and it's a play for power. I'm sure there are a lot more heroes who just aren't great people, but those were the ones that came to my mind first. Another aspect, though, of the show we need to cover is the people affected by superheroes, and there are quite a few. Season 2, Episode 3 of Invincible was great in so many ways, amazing writing, but one of my favorites was the support group. All season, we have seen Debbie just falling apart after what Nolan said about her, calling her a pet, and how that basically betrayed the whole life they lived together. But in this episode, we see the culmination of that. We see her just fall apart and getting absolutely pissed with how she was treated. Although I've argued that Omni-Man doesn't mean what he said about calling her a pet, that doesn't change how evil it is to say it, and we're really delving into how much that messed Debbie up. And she isn't just messed up because she relied on him, it was a betrayal. The man she married, who she had a child with, not only called her a pet, killed many of her friends, but tried to kill the son, and then just left, not giving the satisfaction of dying or anything definite, just left, like they said in the episode. And what we have seen with Debbie in Season 2 is one of the most tragic but also best written arcs in the whole show. It's so unfair, everything that she's been put through, and I just cannot look away. It is amazing. Another person highly affected by superhero antics is Amber. Before you say that she is in the wrong, hear me out. Mark knew that being a superhero involves sacrifices, and he thought that ghosting his girlfriend is a sacrifice. A real sacrifice would be if he, broke up with her so he wouldn't keep just stringing her along. Mark is keeping Amber in a relationship where he is not present. Since she is in a relationship, it's not like she can go see anyone else, even though her boyfriend is just about non-existent in the relationship, and she is the one in the wrong. It doesn't matter that Mark is saving the world if he is keeping Amber to himself while not showing up when the relationship demands it. He isn't being a good boyfriend, and the right choice would be to break up with Amber. That would be a sacrifice. He likes her, but he can't do it. Amber was in a relationship where her time wasn't important and one with no honesty. Of course Amber's going to be mad even if Mark is saving the world. I hate to say it, but Mark is treating Amber as a pet. Finally, though, we have the parents of Adam Eve. I just want to say, at the very least, the dad, horrible person, just sucks, is not accepting at all. But at the same time, being the parent of one of the most powerful superheroes can't have been easy. But the main thing is in Season 2, Episode 2, where we see him most recently, we find out that after Adam Eve tried to fix a park for a community and cut the red tape and all that, being a good person, she actually caused a sinkhole to collapse or something, which could have killed a lot of people, a lot of children also, because she made a playground. I don't believe there were any casualties, but still, it was close. I'm not going to try to say that this proves superhero sucks. I mean, Samantha basically quit being a superhero to just become a humanitarian, but it represents the power that superheroes can hold over regular people, and why vigilantism isn't really necessarily great. Before I give the conclusion, I would like to ask something of you. Could you please take the time to hit the subscribe button? It would really help my journey towards monetization, and I would really appreciate you just taking the time to click it, and thanks to everyone else who has. But back to my question from the start. Why do so many superheroes in this show suck? I think the answer is pretty simple. Invincible does a great job of showing the power of superheroes. If the Guardians of the Globe were prepared, I fully believe that they could have killed Omni-Man, and Omni-Man had the power to take over the world. So if like 7 or 8, up to 10 skilled super people can conquer the globe, because if Omni-Man could do it, they have some serious power. The only thing between supervillains and world domination are these heroes, yet the heroes follow no law, no code. They are vigilantes with almost unlimited power. Supers can do whatever they want, and as long as they can outpunch their enemies, they can get away with it as well. While yes, there are people like Cecil who try to control the superhumans, their bureaucracy means nothing when it comes to superhumans because they don't need to. Mark can just fly away when he wants. Any hero can undermine these authorities very easily. These individuals have no higher authority and have no need to be ethical or consider law and order. They can be horrible people because there's no consequences when you and some friends can overthrow a world government, or in the case of younger heroes, there's no one to help guide you because, again, there is no higher authority. And then in the case of Mark, where your father is a hero someone can give advice, he commits massacre a few weeks later. In summary, heroes in Invincible suck because they can. They have the power to choose their own destiny and don't have anyone to answer to, no laws they need to follow. If they can outpunch, they can do as they please. Anyway, though, that's all for today. If you haven't seen my previous Invincible videos, I highly recommend you start with mine on Mark Grayson. Check that out here. And if you have, how about my recent analysis on Bill Cipher? It's formatted in the same style as these recent Invincible videos, so I know you'll love it. Anyways, though, thank you all so much for watching. I have been Fictional Fanatics. I will see you in one of those 2 videos. But until then, bye!